has been a bit since we have talked about Thornton, Colorado, and I'm going to be going over a few things, pretty much giving you everything you need to know if you've never been exposed to Thornton, Colorado, or maybe you've never even heard of Thornton, Colorado. A few items I'm going to do is like the location, the cost of living, the real estate costs within Thornton, Colorado, an overview of Thornton because there is a difference between like South Thornton and then also North Thornton. I will go over that. I'm also going to be going over the school systems that are in Thornton, Colorado. And last, but definitely not least, we're going to be going over the activities in Thornton, Colorado. Before I break into this video though, let me give you a brief kind of what Thornton was like growing up as a kid in Colorado. So Thornton was always considered kind of more in the boonies when we're talking about a commute from Denver, or even I grew up personally in like Arvada, Westminster area. Still being from there in the northern Denver metro, we thought Thornton was super far away. My high school, I think it was homecoming prom, I get them all mixed up. It was up in Thornton outside of on the Adams County Fairgrounds. And it just seemed like, man, where are we going? It seems like we're in the boonies up here. It's so crazy. And Thornton has changed a lot over the last decade, even over the last couple of decades since I was kind of growing up as an older teenager in Colorado. It's changed a lot, and so it's pretty exciting that we get to cover this. And this is also where we own our home in Colorado, is in Thornton. And there's a few reasons why we did choose it. Let's go ahead and break into the location though. Where is Thornton, Colorado? So it is in the northern Denver metro. I would argue, okay, so a couple years ago, I would say it is the northernmost portion of Thornton, Colorado, but with Denver expanding the way that it is, it's definitely going a little bit further north. But when we're talking about that northern Denver metro, I kind of consider like E470, even Highway 7, like that northernmost portion of the Denver Metro North, and Thornton is on the northern edge of that. But if you are looking at commuting from Denver into Thornton, Colorado, you're looking at about a 20-minute drive. Of course, this is without traffic. With traffic, plan on probably doubling that because we've got like the I-70 and I-25 merging point right there where it does get a little crazy with traffic. But yeah, 20 minutes is, give or take, is what we're looking at. If you're looking at commuting over to DIA, which is Denver International Airport, the funny thing about it is like the north side of Thornton, you have E470 and you could take that toll all the way into the airport. Makes it super convenient, super easy in regards to getting to the airport. Or if you just want to take the typical like I-25 straight south, 225 over to I-70, it's about the same time frame. Of course, it depends on what part of Thornton you're in, but you're still only looking at about 30 minutes. When we're talking about those high traffic times though, being on I-70, it will be much more. I'd say give yourself more like an hour to get over to DIA. And then if you want to take advantage of the mountains, go up and do some skiing, some snowboarding, do the whole winter sports thing, because we are in the winter time right now. That's why I bring this up. We always reference Loveland Ski. That is the resort that we always use in reference when we are talking about these cities. You're looking at about an hour and 5 minutes. That is without traffic. During ski season, that's going to get a lot crazier. I would plan on more like 2.5 hours in order to get up to Loveland Ski. If you want to go more over to Breck, Vail, Keystone, those areas, definitely plan on like a 3 to 3.5 hour drive in order to get into that little area on the other side of the mountain. Now let's go ahead and break into that cost of living, and this has changed dramatically with the popularity of Thornton getting as big as it has been getting in these last couple of years. And so the cost of living is that similar of Denver, but I am also going to compare it to Denver so we can compare apples to apples. What we like to do when we're talking about this cost of living is that cost of living index where 100 is your national average. If it's above that, it's more expensive. And if it's below it, then it's cheaper than your national average. So overall, that overall cost of living index for the city of Thornton comes in at a 121.3. So that is a little bit more than your national average. Compared to Denver, Denver comes in at a 127.6. And there's one factor in all these categories that really makes Denver just a little bit more expensive than Thornton. The next one that we are going to be breaking into is your food and groceries, and Thornton actually comes in right at your national average of 100. It is 100 when we are talking about that food and groceries. Compared to Denver, it's a little bit more expensive, looking at a 101.9. Next category is going to be health. So the cost to go to those doctor visits, pretty much your dental visits, anything like that. The cost in order to do those things in Thornton, Colorado, you're looking at an 85 compared to Denver, it comes in at 83.9. If you've watched any other of our videos, we always talk about the healthcare cost within Colorado is much cheaper than the national average, and that is awesome that we do see that, because healthcare can get pretty pricey when we are talking about some of these other larger cities, some of these other larger states. The next category in this cost of living is housing. Now, this housing number incorporates the purchase and then also renting of any properties, and this is single family. This is attached, so condos, townhouses, row homes, apartments, all these things. The cost of living for housing in Thornton, Colorado comes in at a 160.3. If we were looking at this probably, I'd say like 10 years ago, this would be much, much lower, but Thornton has grown in popularity quite a bit recently, and that's why this number is so much higher. It still comes in lower than Denver though, where Denver comes in at a 183.1. I think that this number right here is the biggest difference in that overall cost of living number, why Denver is just a little bit more expensive as compared to Thornton. The next category is going to be utilities, the cost to heat, cool, light your house. Over in Thornton, we're looking at utilities cost of living index of a 98, so just a couple points below your national average. And then we look at Denver, comes in at a 96, so it's a couple points below your national average, but a couple points above the city of Denver. The next one is going to be transportation. Cost of living index for Thornton, Colorado comes in at a 121.4. Compared to Denver, it comes in at a 116.1. What is this cost incorporate? It incorporates the cost to pretty much maintenance your vehicles, to fuel your vehicles, the cost for public transportation. Denver is going to be a little bit cheaper, which I actually thought Denver would be more expensive compared to Thornton, but that's not the case when we are looking at this cost of living index. And the final category we're going to go into is miscellaneous. So pretty much the cost to go out to those restaurants, to go out shopping, all these great things. This is another number that kind of contributes to why Denver's a little bit more expensive. I'd say biggest reason is like if you're going downtown Denver, the restaurants are going to be a lot more bougie, a lot more expensive as compared to what we got in Thornton. Thornton comes in at a 111.3, where Denver comes in at a 152.2. If we're talking about like the surrounding, the outskirts of downtown Denver, I'd expect your prices to be very similar to that of Thornton. It's more of these downtown high-end places that's probably really bringing this number up. Even the boutiques, you know, if you got these local boutiques when you're going out shopping for your clothing and such, it is gonna be much more expensive. And I'd say most of this number for Denver is because of downtown Denver. All right, now that we covered that whole cost of living, let's break into something that you guys always are looking for, is the cost to purchase a house within Thornton, Colorado. Before I do that though, guys, if you are looking at purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado, we have assembled the best team to help you out with all your real estate needs. So if you are looking at purchasing real estate, give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right below it there. We always answer. It doesn't matter date or time, but if you're not quite ready to purchase, do yourself a favor. Follow along, educate yourself on the Denver Metro, going all the way up into Fort Collins by smashing that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, notification bell. That way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. All right. Let's go ahead and break into these median sales prices. The median sales prices, we're gonna do that overall number. So your single family products, along with your attached products, your condos, townhouses, and row homes, that median sales price, these numbers are as of November of 2024, $544,000 is going to be your median sales price. And that number is actually down 0.55% from November of 2023. So anytime it's under a point, whether we're going up or going down, I pretty much just say it's a wash, right? So we just really haven't seen much equity growth. It's more stagnant. What does it look like for single family homes though? That median sales price for single family homes is $606,000. And that number actually is up 3.13%. And here's an interesting scenario that we are going to be seeing when we cover these numbers. Both of the single family and the attached products are going to be up year over year. I think what this tells me when I see your overall number is down is that there are more attached products selling than there are single family. And so that overall number does get brought down, because if we look at your attached products, your median sales price is $420,000. I'm gonna throw a little bit of caution to the wind right now, because this number came back, it was like 62 or 60% higher year over year. Usually when we see that number, there's like a glitch in the system. It should go back to normal when we get December numbers. I'd just say, let's kind of take that with a grain of salt and just say, let's see what happens next month, all right? See how much these attached products are in regards to 2023 going over into 2024. All right, now let's go ahead and go over the overview, because there's a lot to kind of talk about when we're talking about pretty much comparing South Thornton to North Thornton. The Thornton that I grew up always knowing was the South Thornton area. So it's pretty much you have 120th coming over from I-25 south of there. That was a Thornton that I always knew as a kid. And I graduated high school back in 2003. Like north of 120th was just really starting to kind of pick up a little bit. You had newer developments going in. When we're talking about shopping and amenities, it really wasn't that existent up there yet. Where now you have North Thornton, north of 120th. And I'd even say, because like north of 120th was still building back in the early 2000s, north of 136. This is an area that really started to blow up. You're seeing all these brand new developments, all the way going up to like 144th and north, all these new housing developments going in, all these new shopping centers going in. They are blowing up like crazy. And I'll actually cover a few of these when we go over the activities within Thornton, Colorado. But it has been awesome to see just the development and just how much Thornton has changed in the northern end. And I will tell you that a lot of locals were like, what the heck is going on, Thornton? You're sitting here focusing all your time and efforts, all your money into North Thornton. What are you doing for us? Now, Thornton, as of the last couple of years, has been making sure to dedicate some of its funding into kind of the southern portion of Thornton to kind of refurb it a little bit, right? It's like, we don't want to sit here and have North Thornton that's something that's beautiful, glamorous, and brand new, and just totally like neglect the south side of Thornton. So they have been trying to do what they can to put some money into the south side of Thornton to bring it up a little bit more so it matches that North Thornton area a little bit more. The other appeal to this North Thornton area, and I already mentioned it when we're talking about your drive going to DIA, is you have E470 on the north side. So that tollway for anyone commuting, say even down to like downtown Denver, Denver Tech Center, anything like that, they can just hop on 470. And yes, the tolls are pretty dang pricey. They still do it, and so that's why like this northern super North Thornton area really did start to blow up. It's because of that access to 470. The funny thing when I'm talking about this is it's hard not to talk about all these activities and stuff while I'm talking about the comparison between like North Thornton and South Thornton, because there's a few things that I want to mention, but you're gonna have to make sure you stick around because I'll make sure to mention them in the activities, keep that whole grouping within itself. Let's go ahead and break into the schools. And I actually, in researching this, I kind of always knew, because like, so when we talk about Thornton, it's majority of the school districts that we're talking about Thornton, Colorado, it's going to be Adams 12. That's going to be your main school district. And we like to take our grades when we are talking about these school districts, even individual schools, off of niche.com. And so that's what we're going to be referring to. According to niche.com, Adams 12 comes in at a B+. Here's something that's interesting though, is it's actually where like we own our home in North Thornton area. This would be the school our kids go to if we personally, we do private school, just that's personal preference for us. If we didn't though, this school is the walkable distance for our kids. Stargate Charter up off of 144th and Washington pretty much is the #1 rated public high school in the state. I didn't realize that. We always heard about how like Stargate is a great school. I didn't realize it because it's a K through 12. So that's pretty cool to kind of know that you know, it's kind of in the backyard of our house and all that stuff. But that was interesting. I was just kind of, they have those little tags from time to time. It's like, you know, #1 for this, #1 for that. And I saw that. I was like, holy crap, that's pretty crazy to see that the school that's like literally right across the field from our house is the #1 rated public high school. All right, let's go ahead and break into those activities. When we are talking about activities in Thornton, Colorado, there are a lot. We've got a Top Golf that they built in North Thornton area. Of course, Costco's and all that stuff, but we have access to multiple malls. And so the Denver Premium Outlets is actually located within Thornton, Colorado, right off of I-25. Or you can go across the way. They have the Orchard Town Center, which is like an outdoor mall. So if we're talking about shopping, you have all of that. Another great thing that we love about Thornton though, because we actually like back in the day, early 2010s, we lived like more in the South Thornton portion. The community activities that they do hold that the city does put together for different holidays, different events, like they have Thornton Fest, they have a great 4th of July fireworks show over at Carpenter Park. It is pretty freaking awesome, and it seems like especially during the summertime, you were trying to keep up with this because they hold so many activities. The city of Thornton does. And there's even a few times where they will partner up with the city of North Glen and hold these activities together. So there's always all kinds of events and festivities that you can do within the city of Thornton. And then we also have, we have a couple of rec centers. So I talked about the Margaret Carpenter Rec Center. That's kind of more your South Thornton area. You have Trailwinds, which is like the north side of the Thornton area. Overall though, if you're just not wanting to leave the city and take advantage of so many activities within the city, there is an abundance of them, and Thornton has been great about kind of adding these new products in, these new different things in order to make sure that you can stay within the city, like golfing, anything. Thornton has done a great job about bringing that in, where in the past, not so much. You really didn't go to Thornton for any activities. Now you can do so many different activities within the city of Thornton. All right, thank you so much for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate it. If you are looking at purchasing real estate in the state of Colorado, we're talking the Denver Metro all the way up to Fort Collins, we have assembled the best team of realtors to help you out with all your real estate needs. Give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right right there, we always answer, doesn't matter date or time, but if you're not quite ready to purchase, do yourself a favor and educate yourself on the latest coming into Colorado by smashing that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time they put out a brand new video. Till next time, we love you. Bye.